Hi, today we are going to discuss about Java control flow statements. What is the control flow statements used in Java? The control statements are used to control the execution of the code within the Java program. There are a few control statements are there, that is if else, switch case, while, do while, and for loops. So these are the control flow statements which are used to controlling the flow of the code in the Java program. So what is the syntax for the each one of the control statements? For if case, the general flow will be the keyword that is used for the control flow is like if. Within the bracket, we are expressing that expressions. So we can see by example in each cases. So I have already created one Java project. Here I have created one package that is known as com.java.training.flow.control. So we can see one by one. So there is multiple if clause we can be used in the Java program. One is like I have one created one variable which is integer, that is int as equal to 10. Second variable as int b is equal to 5. So I just check whether this I want to print a statement based on these expressions. So how do I do that? In Java we can achieve that by using if. So how to declare that if flow statements? So using the keyword if, then followed by the expressions. So in Java, if there is a one statement, we don't need to use this curly bracket. Otherwise, if there is a multiple statement is there, then we can use the curly bracket. So depending on the value, return value, so this is will be Boolean value. So depending on the Boolean value of this expression, this block will be executed. In this case, a greater than b, which is as greater than b, so it is true, so this block will be executed. So let's run this example. We can see that a is greater than the b. This is because this condition is true, that's the reason it's printed. Then if we want, in the case of if less than b, so we want the negative scenario or false scenario. So how do we do that? So that's we discussing in the next conditions. If a greater than b, we can print this statement or it will execute this block, else this block will be executed. So let's try this example. This is for the if else case. So we can see that a is greater than b, so this block is executed. If we change this condition, b is less than a, that is the actual result, b is less than a. So what happened here, in this if block, they evaluating this expression a less than b. So what is the a's value? A's value is 10, b's value is 5. So this expression is false. So what it will executed? This block will be executed. So similarly, we can also have this multiple if else case. So what that means? If I have to check multiple scenario, multiple contexts, multiple evaluations, if I need to do, then we can use the multiple if else case. So what is here I'm doing is, if a greater than b, I need to print a couple of statements. If a is equal to a particular value, so we can use the, how do we can you do that multiple? So that is using by if else if. Okay, then this particular block will be executed, or the last case will be this particular case will be printed. So let's run this example. So here it will be a will be greater than the b. So this block is executed. So none of the other block will be executed. Only one block will be executed in the multiple if else case. So this is what about the if control flow in the Java. Next we have switch case. So let's see one example there. So switch case is used. Switch statement is also used for selection of particular block depending on the value in the switch. So this is also similar to if else case, but it is very similar to use rather than using the multiple if else case. So as a best code practice, if there is more than three conditions we supposed to validate, then better to use switch case. So let's see how the syntax is used in switch case. In early version of the Java, it is not supported the string as to be the value parameter in the switch block, but in latest version we can use string as well. So the syntax will be switch. Switch is the keyword that is used, and we will pass the variable name. Whatever be the value we are passing into the switch, depending on the case will be executed. Okay, so my scenario is like this. If I declared one variable here, if the value of that variable is benign, this case is supposed to be executed. If the value of name is Juan, then this case will be executed. If not, both benign and not the Juan are passing into some other value, so by default this block will be executed. So that is the syntax. So let's try to run this example. I'm commenting out the rest of the code. So why this non-name mentioned? It's a case sensitive. See, its name is benign, and here I wrote the case as a benign. So that's the reason it is not taken into account. So I just changed the case statement. Let's see. See, you can see that in the first statement, my name is passed as, and my variable name is the name, and its value is benign. So I supposed to run this particular case only. But you can see here that here this particular case block, benign case block also executed, join case block is also executed, and default is also executed. So the flow is like this. Whenever the case matches with the variable name, the case and the below cases also will execute by default. For example, if I'm passing this as a Juan, and if I run, what will happen? The variable name is Juan. The case will be executed to Juan case. So it will print the Juan, and also it will print the default case as well. Let's run this example. Juan benign. So how do we block this kind of execution? Actually, we don't need to run or execute all the cases. We only need the particular case supposed to be run. For that, we are using the break statement. So what is the break statement is used? Break statement is nothing but whenever the execution is okay, let's exit that block or let's exit the flow. For that, we are using the break statement. So that is I used in the another example here. We can see here. See, if my variable name is Binoy, it will execute this case block and it will break. So from this, whenever this block executed and then it's breaking the condition or its control flow. It will come out from the switch case. Okay, if it is Juan, it will only execute this statement after this break will be break the control flow. Let's run this example. Here I my variable name is as Juan, so it will print. For the time being, I'm changing this to Binoy. Let's run this example. Here it will print all three: Binoy, Juan, no name. Then the using the break statement here onwards, starting the break statement, here only Binoy is printed. But here what happened? It's printed Binoy, Juan, no name. 3 is printed. But when I use the break statement, only Pinoy is used. This is what the break statement used for. Then another one is the while statement. So let's see what is the while statement is all about. Here we can see that I'm just commenting the below part example. The while statement used for executing one block of code until the condition become false. What means while is expressed using the keyword while, and it is the expression. So what will happen whenever this expression is true, this block of code will be executed. Whenever this expression is false, then it will not execute and it will exit from this block of this code. So what it is here means, for this example, I created one index whose name is 0, and my condition is whenever its index is equal to 5, index is less than 5, execute this block of code. So what here is doing, it's printing nothing, it's just printing this index. So it keep iterate, and here is I incremented. So here this operation, this operator, we already talked about this postfix addition. So it will increment by 1 in each loop, and till the 5, till reach 5, it will print this 16.out.println. Let's see. Here we can see that each iteration is executed 0, 1, 2, 3 till 5. When it's reached the index is 5, it will not execute and it exit from this loop, and it's break that control flow. Okay, so if you want to skip some operations in the while loop itself, we are using one keyword that is known as continue. In previous example we talk about the break statement. Similarly here what is going is that we we are using the continue. What is continue used for? Here we can see that my condition is whenever the index value is less than 5, it's keep print this index value. So I just want to skip when the index value is equal to 3, then it should not print that one, but I need to continue that flow of the code. So what I can do here, it will keep increment whenever the index is equal to 3, then it will continue. Continue means it will not execute the below, but it again evaluate the expression till it become false. So let's have one example here. Oh, here I need to again reinitialize this index because it's already 5. That's the reason it's not printing anything. I'm just initializing the value as 0. See, here we can see that I need to, this will be infinite loop because whenever its index is equal to this index is equal to 3, it will always continue, but it's not going to increment that one. So it will always will be 3, and the increment will not happen, right? I will explain. When the index is equal to 0, it will come, it will check whether index is equal to 3. No. Then it will print 0. That is printed here. Then its value become 1. Again, it is less than 5. Yes. Is equal to, then index is equal to 3. No. Then it will print the index 1. Then increment value to 2. It check whether this 2 is less than 5. Yes. Then 2 is equal to 3. No. Then it will print this index as equal to 2. Then it index will be 3. Next is check in 3 is less than 5. Yes. But 3 is equal to 3. Correct. Then it's continue. Again it will go. But its index value is not changed till 3. Again 3 is less than 5. True. 3 is equal to 3. Correct. Then it will again continue. So this here it will be keep, I mean, it will keep loop, and it will be an infinite loop. For that, we just do the index plus plus either here, or just we do, I mean, before checking this condition, we can do that as well. But for this example, I'm just doing this one. So here we can see that it printed 0, 1, 2, then 3 didn't print, then it's 4 printed. After 4, this index will be 5, incremented into 5, then it will not exceed. As compared to the previous example, we can see that previous example 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, here 3 will not print because we skipped the third operation, I mean third index value, and it continued. So for this, we are using the continue keyword. So just to skip the particular flow and continue the iteration. Okay. Next, when we are using this, a do while. What is the difference between while and do while? Here we can see that in while, first the expression will be checked, then only the block of the code will be executed. Where in do while, the first block of code will be executed, then after the execution, one time of the execution, then only the expression will be evaluated. What that means? Here, how do the syntax of the do while? Do while syntax is using the do, then whatever the code or block of the code is supposed to run, that is separated by the curly bracket, then we are giving the expression. So for that expression, we are using the while, and the expression here will be put in the parenthesis. So what will happen here? First, this block, do block, will be executed. Then only this expression will be checked. So what it here means, what it is here doing, whenever the index is equal to 0, it will print the index and it will increment that one. Then it will check the index is equal to 1. So we can see that index is equal to 1. Then again it will print, index will be print. Then it will be checked. So it will not be true because it will become 2. Then this condition will not be satisfied. Then exit the flow. Let's run this one. See here. Okay. So what is the difference between? Difference between is that, for example, if it is a 0, it will print one time. See 0. Correct. This will be printed. Then it is incremented. Then only it will be check this condition. If in suppose if it is 0 only, then only it should be printed. So that's the difference. So whenever we require the requirement like uh, the condition, I mean this one process supposed to be done, then only we need to check those kind of scenario, we can use the do while loop. Okay. The last flow control statement is the for loop. So for loop has two flavors actually. One is index based, I mean declaring the index and then we are iterating the index depending on the index value. Second one is without declaring the index, we are iterating through all the uh, list of this list or array list. We will iterate all the list. Okay. So what is the difference? So let's see the N1 example here. Here, this is the what the syntax of for loop. Here it is used for. Then here, this is the control flow. For this control, I mean this for loop iteration, this is the control flow. What here I'm doing? Here I am declaring one index variable. Then it's check the condition. So initializing the variable, it's a condition check and increment here. Okay. So here I declared as one variable as index. So I initialized it with 0. Then the condition is like this index is less than 3. If it is less than 3, then process this loop or process this block of this code. Then what is my next step? It increment that one. I'm doing increment. Okay. So for that I'm using the index plus plus. So here we can see that I have the control in this iteration, because whenever I need, for example, I'm just skipping the below example. So here I have this control. Let's run this example. Is printed 0 1 2 3. If I don't want to print all the cases, I can use my previous if index equal to 3. I can either use the continue. What will happen? It will not print the, sorry, it will not come to 3. I want 1. It will not print the 1, because if it is a 1 value 1, it will continue, means don't need to execute the below part, just to continue the for loop for this iteration. Okay. Otherwise, if I want to break this one, I can use the break statement. So what is the difference? It will not, see, only 0 will be printed. Correct. If what is happened here, see, one index is equal to 0, it check 0 is equal to 1, no, then this will be printed. That what is the print value? It's index is equal to 0. Then what happens? This increment occurred. Then increment occurred. What is the value? It's now 1. 1 is less than 3, yes. Then comes to inside of this block. Then check 1 is equal to 1, yes. Then it is break. Then it's breaking from this for loop. So that's reason further we are not executed. Okay. The another one is that here we have the control. So what is mean by the control here is like we are controlling the flow using one variable and its value. So we can control the flow whether we need to iterate all the uh, collections. Generally we are iterating over the collections or array, any kind of data structure we are using, this iteration we are using. So if it is a big number of size, it may take huge time to execute that flow. Okay. So for that we might require the control over the collections or array. For that we can use this index based one. In some scenario we don't need any flow, control in the flow of this code. Then it's just we want to iterate all the collections, then we can use enhanced for loop. What it is mean is that here I have one example. I declared one array. So we already know that how to declare an array. So this is the one array. It has 3 values. So I define array in integer type and also I pass the value 1 2 3. Here I don't want uh, any check or anything like that. It's directly printing the values. So this we can see that in previous example I created one index and depending on that index value the flow is going on. Here it is not like that. The enhanced for loop is whatever the type of the array, okay, that we are declared as a variable. and we are passing the array here. We can see that it's not specific to integer, whatever be the array type. Here we are passing the collection, correct? Collection or array. So for that type, we need to specify here. Okay, so it is int. That variable will be printing here. So what internally it is doing, internally this Java compiler or Java JRE will be, or Java compiler will do that the same operation here as well. It will internally convert into index based, but for us as coding purpose, it is very easy, and it will give us, I mean, very short coding, and it is very easy to handle also. So this way we can print the elements in the array. Here we can see in enhanced loop, it is printed 1, 2, 3. So these are the flow statements in Java. Thank you.
If you like the video, please click the like button and subscribe for more videos.